Alright, part 2 of the video. I guess I was typing in the command wrong, but I did need to install that Python package before I was able to add the repository. But when I was going to re-add the repository after that, I typed the command in wrong. So it was user error. So sometimes doing things on the command line can be unintuitive and not very user-friendly. So luckily for you guys get to learn from my mistake, and I will have the proper commands in the text version of this so you can just copy and paste it. So I'm adding the repository right now, and it wants me to press enter. So go ahead and press enter. Um, and this adding a repository will just allow me to download and install packages that aren't necessarily officially endorsed by Ubuntu, which there is a certain level of risk, but you need Oracle Java to have Craftbukkit work properly. And it is installed, so now I have to do sudo apt get update, which will update all the packages that are available. And this can take like a minute, maybe more, or less, apparently. So now that that is installed and updated, I can actually finally. I'm cheating. I can install Java 7. And then once Java is installed, we can actually do the fun stuff, which is starting our server and configuring the server. But I felt it was necessary to go over some of these basics, like installing Oracle Java, because that's often skipped, and tutorials and tutorial videos that already exist online. I'm going to go ahead and pause the video, and I'll resume it when this is done, because there's no need to watch this. Okay, looks like Java is done installing now. So now I can run the script. Before I run the script, the first thing I need to do is make it executable. So I'm going to do chmod plus x, and then craftbukkit.sh. And now when I list the directory again, it's highlighted green. But more importantly, when I do ls-la, you can see that it has executable rights. So now, by default, your current path, your current directory is not in your path. So when you run scripts, you have to do // and then the name of the script. And again, I press tab for autocomplete because it is your friend in a command line environment. So I'm going to run the script, and it looks like nothing happens when you press enter, but that's because we ran it in a detached screen session. So if you want to see what's going on, you can type screen-r and enter. Oops, if I can spell things right. I'm on a roll today. And now it's like typing screen-resume is basically the equivalent of pressing Alt-Tab in a Windows environment. So when you run it the first time, you're gonna see a couple errors. That's because the very first time you run it, it generates config files that don't exist the first time you run it. So now that it's done running the first time, I'm simply just gonna type in stop, which will shut it down, and it exits the screen session. But now when I hit ls, you can see I have all these extra files that were created. And very first thing, or it doesn't really matter what order you do this, but I like to vim the op file. Actually, you don't even have to do this. You can just go cat and two like forward arrow things. Or sorry, I'm doing this wrong. Echo your username, your Minecraft username, and then two forward arrows, and then ops. Man, I cannot spell today. Echo. There we go. So now when I look at the ops file, actually I'll just use Vim. My name's in there, and basically just using echo and then piping it or pushing it into the ops file will allow you to skip using Vim. So, but we do need to Vim the server properties, or most likely you will. Properties. I believe the defaults are usually more or less true, but if you want to add like a custom seed, you'll do that here on this line. Let's see here. I'm gonna change the MOD. So I'm just gonna call this Justin's Minecraft server. But this is where you access like a few of the important configuration settings. So again, Control C, Shift ZZ when you're done editing it. Now, when you start that script again and you resume the screen session, it'll start without all those errors. And at this point in time, you have the basic vanilla like Craftbukkit Minecraft server running without any plugins installed. So if I open up Minecraft, I add a server. I believe my IP address was it 192.168.0. 192. So if config is a way where you can get the IP address. So it's on the default server, our default port. And there we go. It was up and running. And this is the Minecraft server. As it is right now, there are no plugins installed, and I'm going to show you how to install one plugin really quick, and you guys can take it from there. So to install plugins is pretty easy. When you hit ls, there's a folder called plugins, so you can cd into the plugins folder, and it'll be empty right now. So on Craftbukkit, if you go to the home for Craftbukkit, or not this one, here we go, bukkit.org. You can click on Get Plugins, and what I'm going to do is I will get World Edit because World Edit is by far my favorite plugin because it allows you to make things really, really fast. So you go to where you can download it. So this is it, yeah. Because when I look at the URL down here, there was the actual zip. So I'm going to copy the URL. I'm going to go back into my terminal. I'm going to use that wget command like I suggested. So wget and then the zip. And then you have to unzip it. And I can't remember if unzip is included by default. Nope. So I have to do sudo apt get install unzip. I am so winning at typing. Now you can unzip the zip file. Now when you hit ls, you have some of the plugins will install a bunch of things you don't need. So I'm going to use the rm command. I'm going to get rid of the zip file because we don't need that anymore. We don't need the readme or the notice or the license or the change log. So again, so basically I'm just typing the first letter of the file and just hitting tab, and I'm going to remove all of those. So now when I hit ls, it's nice and clean. I just have the world edit and the craft scripts folder that I needed. Now it doesn't do any harm leaving all those files. I just like to keep things clean. So if you don't want to risk breaking a plugin, then I wouldn't delete files. but I've used this plugin before, so I know that I can delete those. So now I'm going to resume my screen session, and I'm going to type in reload, and that reloads the plugins. And if you, when you have certain plugins installed, sometimes reload, it'll say you can't use reload. Just simply type in stop, and it'll shut down the server, and then go to where that script is, and just restart the script. And then if you want to see what's going on, you can just type in screen-r. If you have more than one screen running, you can type in this command, screen-ls, and it'll show you what screen sessions are. And if you need to resume a specific one, you do screen-r, and then like we called ours Minecraft, so you can actually type in Minecraft, and it'll resume that specific screen session. So now when I of course not. When I relaunch Minecraft, that plugin should be installed on my server. Let's make sure it's installed. /give X. Sorry, I couldn't remember the code for the X, and as you can see, my server generated a really, really lame map because I'm literally on an island in the middle of nowhere with no resources. But to check to see if the plugin that I installed worked, I just gave myself a wooden axe because that's what you use in World Edit. And I can click on a square, click on another square, and -- replace air. And as you can see, the plugin worked. And that's how you install plugins. And there's tons and tons of cool plugins on the Bukkit website. And thank you for watching my tutorial on how to install a Bukkit Minecraft server in a Linux environment. And I hope you guys all have a nice day.